Hey, what's up, guys? I'm going to take a second and talk about the shooting that happened in the church in Texas today. On Daily Wire, Michael Knowles talked about this, and I'm going to be reading what they have to say on their website. So let's go right through it. All right, breaking church shooting reported in Texas. Armed churchgoers stopped it, reports say. It's interesting. All right, this was at West Freeway Church of Christ. And let's pause that. Got sound turned off anyway. All right. Multiple people were reportedly shot at a church in Texas on Sunday, and a reporter who claimed to have viewed video footage of the attack suggested that armed churchgoers stopped the attacker. It's important. The attack happened in White Settlement, which is on the western edge of Fort Worth, Texas, at the West Freeway Church of Christ. MedStar spokeswoman Makara Trusty confirmed that one person died at the scene of the shooting. One person died en route to the hospital, and another person was transported to a hospital in critical condition, the Dallas Morning News reported. The shooter is believed to be one of those three people, said Fort Worth Fire Department spokesman Mike Drivdahl. I can't pronounce all these names. So one person died en route to the hospital, and another was transported. So there we go. And one died at the scene of the shooting. All right. Bobby Ross Jr., editor-in-chief of the Christian Chronicle, tweeted out a link to a live stream video from the church that showed the shooting take place. The video has since been set to private on YouTube. It appears that a gunman shot two church members at back of auditorium with a foot-long weapon. Then a member shot the gunman with a pistol, Ross wrote. This is just based on me watching the video again, screaming afterward in the church. So tragic. Two quick shots at back, then another shot. Then at least three members, I believe, with pistols walking toward where the gunman appeared to fall. CBS News Dallas reported that a witness confirmed to them that another church member shot the suspect. Two quick shots at back, then another shot, then at least three members, I believe, with pistols, watching toward where the gunman appeared to fall. Bobby Ross. Okay, so there was a shooter, and he was taken out by, lawful firearm owners. This is important because we hear on the news all the time that we need stricter gun control laws, and that, guns are the problem, and, et cetera, et cetera. The Second Amendment is there for a reason. Your right to keep and bear arms is there so that you can have protection. Gun-free zones and places with the strictest gun control laws are always the places that get hit the most. So many school shootings have happened since the 90s. And the reason why is because they're gun-free zones. If you can't defend yourself, then you're sitting duck. Chicago has some of the strictest gun control, and they have such a high murder rate with the use of firearms. And not even just with that, but with other weapons too, like knives and stabbings and things like that. So even if gun crime wasn't an issue, violent crime is still a problem, and a bigger problem in places that you're not allowed to defend yourself with firearms. The Second Amendment is there so that you can protect yourself, yes, against people trying to harm you, but also against a government trying to harm you, whether it's a government that's not the United States government or if it is the United States government. That's why the Second Amendment is there. And this is also biblical. Like in the Old Testament, for example, in Exodus 22, if someone broke into your house and you struck them and killed them, you weren't guilty of murder because you were just defending yourself, and they shouldn't have been in there. Throughout the Old Testament, people had bows and arrows. I mean, that's the modern equivalent to that would be a firearm. You shoot a projectile at high speeds and it kills your target with ease. And again, the modern equivalent would be a firearm. Jesus in Luke 22 told his disciples to buy swords. And the Roman soldiers walking around that time had swords. So Jesus told them to buy a weapon to keep, to bear, and to carry in public that people in the government used every day. So all throughout the Old and New Testament, the idea of having weapons, even weapons that the government owns for the purpose of self-defense against anyone, that is not unbiblical. It's good to have weapons for self-defense. And lastly, pray for the people involved in this. Pray for this church. And be thankful that there were people there that were carrying, and that we in the United States have the right to bear arms. All right, well, that's it for me. Please subscribe, like, and share. And I'm going to leave a link to what I read in the description. Peace.